Hey everybody, welcome to the Art of Divination's weekly podcast. Sorry, we just had a little bit of trouble there. We died just before we started. But now we're back up and running, so I hope you're all seeing the show. So as promised, we have Natasha Polomski with us tonight. Sorry, I'm saying this phonetically.
Just keep Natasha.
So Natasha from Turn Up the Frequency, Vibrational Healing, but we're going to get talking with her in a minute. Right now, we just want to do our announcements that we do every week. Oh, and of course, with the lovely Robin Murdoch with us, a familiar face. She wasn't able to make it last week. She had another engagement, but she's back in the co-chair again. And don't forget, pick your numbers. Carl, you got to make that post. We're going numbers between 1 and 50 for the free reading at the end of the show. And to get to our announcements for this week, the mental health peer-to-peer support group, they're actually meeting right now on Wednesday nights, 6 to 8 p.m. A wonderful resource. Mental health in this area especially is not
the greatest.
It's not where it needs to be, and there's lots of people suffering. There's huge wait lists and stuff like that. So Jamie, who's the facilitator for this group, he thought that it would be a way to help fill the void until people can get the help that they need.
Exactly.
It's a wonderful group. Yeah. We have been invited over once in the fall to talk to the people, the members, about crystals to help with depression, stress, and anxiety.
Oh, wow.
And so it's a wonderful group. I met a bunch of fantastic people there. And it's just a valuable resource that Pictou County needs.
And Carrie, that's just once a week on
on Wednesday nights.
Okay.
Yep.
At 7 o'clock.
6 to 8 p.m.
Oh, 6 to 8. Okay.
So it's a wonderful resource for Pictou County. It truly is. So the other one that we're always harping on or cheering for is Roots for Youth. Are you familiar with Roots for Youth, Robin?
No, I'm not.
It's transition house for youth, 16 to 24, I believe.
Okay.
They have 3 houses. They have a transition house, which is an emergency house. They have a guy's house and a girl's house.
Oh.
They're 100% funded on donations.
Oh, wow.
So they have donations. They'll accept anything. I know of a lady who dropped off 12 bottles of wine or so.
Oh, well,
their time.
Anything at all that people can use for.
Even volunteering. Even go over an hour or 2 a week. Cook a meal for the youth.
Yeah.
They're just so dependent, but I think they've been going for like 6 years now. But their coldest night of the year walk is coming up. That's their big fundraiser.
And that's on the 24th?
Or 24th,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so people raise teams or get teams to do this walk, and that's how their biggest fundraiser. So here's hoping a good turnout. And if you hear somebody looking or asking, it's a really good cause. You don't have to give much.
Volunteer or where to drop things off that that these youth can use.
Exactly. Like your old clothes that you would give to the Red Cross and the Salvation Army. Drop it off to Roots.
Exactly.
Because they just have so many kids and gift cards. If they run out of money, people don't want to donate money because they're not familiar with it. Gift cards.
Exactly.
It allows them to run over, so we get the things that they need.
Exactly.
It's a great organization.
Get them, a few groceries, whatever. I think that is absolutely
it's kind
great.
of like the one that's near to my heart. I have a reason for it, but anything that we can do to bring awareness to Roots for Youth. I know for a fact that if the youth doesn't live in Pictou County, they will purchase a bus ticket to get the youth here.
Oh, wow.
They're just dedicated to helping the youth.
That is amazing because I don't know too many places that would do that.
So that's why they're so caring. I just can't promote them enough. And I'm sorry if it bothers everybody else, but it is.
Oh, no, it's a definite
resource.
need. It's a definite need.
It is. Yeah. It is. It definitely is. So don't forget, you can book readings for auras. I think Zen's going to be in next Thursday. And Zen is pre-booking only. She doesn't live in town. And Angel Cards with Sarah, who's booking because it's the baby. And of course, you can always get your natal charts done with Robin. They're fantastic. And Sue's EFT is on Wednesdays. But I cover that one on the daily podcast a lot. Now here's the other big one. Like and share. We're moving, folks. For everybody that doesn't watch the daily reading, we are moving. We got a new, beautiful, bigger store. It's going to be fantastic. We're shooting for April. I can't wait. I'm so excited. And so I'll keep everybody updated on that one. But like and share everything so that way we can stop being Pictou County's best kept secret.
Well, exactly.
I also put up the link on the Facebook page. I suck at technology, so I have to wait till one of the boys comes around. And we finally get the link, to your Facebook page to turn up the frequency. Yes. So people can always contact Natasha that way.
Yeah.
And but we'll get more to that later. So I guess that is everything that I wanted to say for now to get the show started. Sorry, I'm getting distracted. And don't forget, between 1 and 50, I've already picked my number, so somebody will be getting a free reading at the end of the night. So, Natasha.
Yes.
I'm so glad you could join us tonight. I really am. And I am going to be learning as much as everybody else as well. I researched it a little bit, but not much, because I want to learn with everybody else.
Okay.
And I noticed you offer on your website, your Facebook page, a bunch of different methods of alternative healing.
Yeah, I have quite a few modalities on the models, yeah.
So do you want to begin by telling us maybe how you decided to start your Turn Up the Frequency? It's a business, right?
It's a registered business name which runs under Napolo AMD. It's a division of Napolo AMD, which is my business side. Because I started out with a company who does business administration for other companies. And I was able, when I quit my day job a year before, December 2016 was my last day at work and being employed. And then I decided I want to go full time with Turn Up the Frequency and do my stuff. And it's a nice combination because I can work from home with business stuff and satisfy my computer needs. And on the other hand, I have all my wonderful tools I can share with everybody. And I've been trained with the singing bowls since 2004.
What made you want to get into it?
Well, I was sick. I was working for Siemens at that time. I had a blood pressure from 140 to 120, like way over.
And you're young for that.
Yeah, well, not so young anymore. But yes, at that time it was about 35. Was too high, way too high. And the company doctor said, "I'll let you work 3 days," which was year end for Siemens. And the 3 days they needed to do the year end. And if it doesn't go down, then I'll send you to the hospital. The usual way it goes. I went into Ayurvedic training, and I know that some people don't know what Ayurveda is. Basically, it's the teachings or the wisdom about life. It comes from India and is about 3,000 to 5,000 years old. Some of the surgical instruments that are used today come from that 3,000 years ago, and they're one-to-one the same still today. I did a wellness therapist and beautician. And during that course, I learned about the singing bowls. And I got so hooked that I went and did an intensive right after and did the sound therapist then. So, yeah, I have those titles. Now I work with kinesiology. I just became a registered practitioner for therapeutic touch. I do Peter Hess sound massage, which is another training I took in Germany. And I use mainly the Peter Hess singing bowls because they are certified therapy quality. And I have my own programs going now, which is a combination of kinesiology and frequency, which means you use the muscle testing to find out what you need, and then you balance with the instruments.
Okay.
So a lot of things.
So it's really good for stress.
Yes.
Anxiety?
Yeah.
Depression?
I would say anything you need somebody to feel better.
Okay.
You can use the bowls for.
I have a question that I didn't write down for you earlier,
No,
but it just came to me. Where you're using basically sound therapy.
Yes.
What about people that are deaf?
Funny is that your hearing becomes better with the singing bowls. It opens up the hearing, like even if you are restricted. I've had it after the 1 week we did the training. You hear all of a sudden sounds you're not aware of. So either it sharpens your hearing. I had somebody from TT actually who bought singing bowls. She was able to hear all the singing bowls. Also, she was, I think, 60-70% restricted on both ears.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah.
Gee.
And it's not only hearing; it's the vibration too. So
you
have a somato tactile. I hate that word. Experience, which means you have the vibration and the sound, and you perceive sound not only through the ear. Sound goes through every cell because it vibrates. So the vibration will definitely have an impact on you.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about the nervous system? Like anybody with Parkinson's or MS or stuff like that?
I don't have studies on that.
Okay.
I would be willing to try carefully. The only restrictions I have to work with somebody, pregnancy the first 3 months, just to be careful, and definitely pacemakers, but you can still work off the body. You can work in the field.
So I have a question. My daughter is pregnant. Should she not play with singing bowls?
Why not? She's as long as how far along is she?
She's in the first trimester.
About 10 minutes.
She shouldn't have them on her. That's the only thing, because with the vibration on you, you can create other things that you don't like. It's and now I'm lacking the word. Here's the German. Basically, if, for instance, if I drink a glass of water, I get rid of 2 afterwards, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it sheds, and you don't want that with a baby.
No, you don't want the
And
uterus.
that's why they say 3 months until the fetus is really settled in the womb, and then you can put them on. And I have people who came during the pregnancy, and they said, oh, finally the back can let go. And even having just the singing bowls around you or underneath you is very nice. So we did, in Tadamakush, we did some treatments for mamas to be. One of them had her baby last week. And what happened is we put the singing bowls underneath her. And she's carried by the sound. She's weightless. She's in a zero gravity chair and the singing bowls underneath. And while I do the singing bowls, my partner in that situation is a light worker. So Tessa puts her hands on, and we created just peace and quiet for a very stressed mama.
That's cool.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
I kind of, when I read, right, I read cards, I read palms. I won't read a pregnant woman's cards. There's too much potential.
Yeah, and Tessa is a very interesting person because she puts her hands on you and she gets a lot of information. But she's a very non-judgmental person. I've never seen anybody so non-judgmental. And she's very careful in what she says, so she keeps it quiet if she needs to. So she wouldn't go and scare you at all. Yeah.
Cool.
And she could tell what the baby would be last time.
Oh, wow.
So your singing bowls, your drum, your chimes, that's all started, I can't say it,
Ayurveda.
Ayurveda? Is that where it started?
Basically, no. It was just one of the courses I took in the Ayurveda. The Ayurveda is the oil massages or the Indian head massage. That's Ayurveda. And one of our courses was with singing bowls. So we learned about the singing bowl massage, and then I trained with somebody else to go deeper into that. Because the neat thing with the singing bowls is I can cover you with 5 blankets, and then I can still put the singing bowls on you, and you still get it. So if you have an issue with your body, you get your body feeling back, and you get in contact with your body again without me doing anything.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Nice.
pause for a second. Don't forget your questions and comments. If you have anything to ask Natasha, sorry, it's Robin's fault.
It's not
When
my
Robin
fault.
was leaving, she was like, Natasha, from Natasha on
You can
board.
also just say Tasha, it's easier.
So that's Robin's fault, because I'm like, don't say Natasha. And like that.
I have a daughter, Natasha, and I always call her Tasha or
Yeah,
Tash.
yeah.
So.
The most friends say Tasha.
Yeah.
So
I'm good with that.
if you have any questions for Tasha, we love to hear them, and she'll do her best to answer anything you might want to ask her about this. So I'm going to go, oh, Jim.
What about back problems?
Awesome. We did it at the fair, as I said. I have a massage chair. And at the fair, it's neat because we do mini treatments. So you can sit in the chair, and the massage chair has the possibility to stretch your back already. So you're sitting in that position, so your back lengthens anyway. And then when you go with the singing bowls in there and get the vibration and the sound in there, it lets go. So people with sciatic nerve problems, pain-free in 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
I'm not guaranteeing that. I'm
Wow.
not saying it happens all the time, but I had it happen, right?
Yeah.
As long as it's muscle related and not structural, there's a big chance because the muscles can let go. Right?
Okay.
So anything that's tension, shoulders, neck, anything that's tension related will let go.
Okay, so it really won't help somebody with a slip disc or anything like that so much.
Well, if your slip disc leads to wrong posture, which then would be cramped muscles again, right? Because we tend to go in a safety position,
Yes, you do.
right?
Yep.
So if that's causing stress to your muscles, then I can work on the muscles. I can't do anything for your slip disc.
Okay.
because
But
I'm
you
not a
can alleviate.
chiropractor and
No,
I'm
no,
not a doctor.
that's understood.
But I can loosen up your muscles, which then will
Which will
relieve
release,
pain.
yeah.
And again, while I was thinking about it, I'm going to put out the disclaimer. This is not instead of seeing
No,
your doctor.
definitely not.
This is in conjunction with your
Yes,
doctor.
Yeah.
And I always put out that disclaimer out there because we don't want people coming back saying, well, I listened and I went to treatment and I just ignored my doctor. Well,
No,
don't
never,
ignore your
never.
doctor.
Do that.
And I have to say, father was a veterinarian. My mom was a sales rep for pharmaceuticals. So I know the traditional way too. I'm personally studying right now. I'm doing my master's in complementary and alternative medicine. And I have to say, I like the word complementary way better than alternative.
I do too.
It's complementary and I can help. I can assist, but I'm not your doctor. And I'm not diagnosing. That's
I
not
have a
mine.
medical background too. I left a career in nursing.
Yeah.
And I like complementary better because it's not doctors. No offense, please don't jump down my throat.
Yeah.
I find doctors, they're so rushed. There's not enough.
Yeah.
They treat the symptoms.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you have to get to the root of it. I have
Yeah.
seen amazing things. I've seen the really, I'm trying not to give away too much information that can be identifying, but I've seen the, centennial nearly will themselves to death because of loneliness.
Yeah.
And then have something to get excited about. And then they lived another couple of years. I have seen people that should have died because of certain injuries.
But
Go
they
to the
didn't.
hospital, be sent back, and they're a palliative, and we're doing palliative and everything like that. And then all of a sudden, 2 years later, they're still there, and it's like, how? How can that be?
It can be.
So
It can be.
there is so much more complementary.
It's definitely, and it's also one of the things why I started my work in Germany. I had I called it a wellness studio, a little tiny one. I moved out of my bedroom and had people come in with the Ayurvedic. And it was called Time for Me, which meant literally time for yourself to sit down, to have somebody pamper you. Because in our society, we are a society that doesn't touch, that doesn't hug, that doesn't give any kind of passion or care to others.
Or consideration.
And also, we in our therapeutic touch group in Port Hawkesbury, we are where we are very, very close to our people. Like giving a hug or touching is very, very important for us.
Oh,
It
for
is,
sure.
yes.
But Kyle's got a question from our viewers.
Just Mary J. Henley saying hello, and
Hey, Mary Jane.
Amy Kins D. Morrison Atkinson. Woohoo, hello.
Hey, Amy.
Hello.
It's so nice you guys
Hi.
could join us. A lot of people like to say, hey, I'm here, I'm watching. So
Right.
we always love saying hey, and we love knowing you're there. But don't forget, guys, if you have any questions for Tasha, feel free to jump in on them. That's what Kyle's job is, to let us know. And keep guessing your numbers, folks. So, sorry, to get back to, I kind of lost my train of thought.
So yeah, no,
Germany
the
and your
care,
business.
the care for others, and just being able, and it doesn't cost you anything to give somebody a hug.
You're right. I totally agree with that. One of the things I talk about every day is simple pleasures and acts of kindness. But it's everywhere. It's pervasive. It's with our employers.
Yeah.
When I hurt my tendon, I crushed my tendon. I went to work the next day with crutches and a stool.
Yeah.
Because who's going to fill in for me at 6:30 in the morning?
Well, exactly.
You know what I mean? And then the boss is there, you're a champ. I'm like, yeah, I'm in pain.
Yeah.
But I still went to work every day because they're not going to say, oh, I'll work your shifts. And with McDonald's, my daughter, she has a stomach flu. She works at McDonald's, right? And they're like, oh, if you can come in. And then she was still called in for 2 other shifts that day. She's like, I'm sick.
If you have a stomach flu, you don't go and work in a
Exactly.
place where you serve food.
No.
Sorry, no go.
But it's pervasive, this lack of harmony.
Yeah.
That's what I call it, a lack of harmony. We're not in touch with ourselves. We're not in touch with others. And it's all about go.
Yeah, and I was the same. Like I was working, and I was becoming a person that was very negative. And luckily, I realized that at the same time, I got a email from my friend and business partner, Michelle Greenwell, who is probably sometime will be with you too. She's one of the others in Chatham Bush.
Excellent.
And she sent me an email saying basically, I'm sorry, you are so negative. I right now don't have the energy to work with you. I have to distance myself from you. I read that at 7:00 in a meeting with 13 people in the morning. Usually it would have been throw it down, go, be pissed, sorry.
Go ahead.
And
We're not cable.
no. And the neat thing was that I read it and I said, yes, she's right. 4 days later, I quit.
You have to.
Wow.
When
Yeah.
I was in the nursing home, that's what happened to me. I was getting so overwhelmed. I was getting so stressed. When I get super stressed, my hands break out in eczema.
Mhm.
My hands look like ground beef. I developed a latex allergy. They had to get me
Oh.
special gloves in, right?
Yeah.
And I was just had nothing left.
Yeah.
No
Nothing
hope, no
left to give.
happiness,
Yeah.
nothing.
No.
And I just quit.
Yeah.
I had to save myself.
You know, I had, since I quit in 2016, so I'm home, working from home since 2007 at the beginning. I had no allergies. None in the spring, none in, like, I'm usually pretty bad in the heating time because it's dust.
Mm-hmm.
Mites, which is mine. Nothing. My blood pressure is so low that my naturopath said, I would like to have that too.
Awesome.
And it's just amazing. I'm not fretting about things. I'm not worried getting out there, doing stuff. Yes, I have no steady income. Yeah, I have to say I have a steady income because one of my business clients was so kind to hire me. So I have a minimum income, personal, but everything else is through the company.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have much money, but I'm happy.
That's just it.
Yeah.
Same with me
Yeah.
with the store.
Yeah.
I can totally relate to that because it's so uncertain trying to get the business up on the ground, trying to do everything. But I am happier than I've ever been.
And what people don't realize, if you're happy in what you're doing, you're drawing the others in.
Yeah.
Right?
For
You're
sure.
creating the energy that people come.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more and more.
I'd rather be like this, struggling with a new business that's fulfilling to me. And not only that, it allows me to have you on the show
Same here.
talking about wellness.
I met last year, I met so many beautiful people within the last year. That's amazing. I started volunteering at the Women's Place in Port Hawkesbury, so we do crafts with them, which gives me the time to do what I love and teach and experience new things and meet wonderful people. And on the other hand, it doesn't cost me anything, right? It's just fun to be there and be able to share. And that's
Simple
amazing.
pleasures.
Yeah. Tiny
Simple
things that are
pleasures.
so,
Yeah.
so amazing.
And I every day on my podcast before I end it, I talk about simple pleasures. That
Yeah.
thing that makes you go, okay,
Yeah, and
Yeah.
you find
I'm
one
good.
at least every day.
I'm whole.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why I love this. I get to talk about the things about wellness. I kind of went from nursing, but I still consider myself in wellness, but only a different aspect of it. But we're gonna get back to you. So, can you tell us a little bit about the history of singing bowls? What you know of it?
Okay, the history of singing bowls is kind of shrouded in.
Helen McKenzie says hi, everyone.
Hey,
Hi.
Helen.
So it's shrouded in mysteries because they don't really know ceremonial-wise what they were used for. They know they were used as dishes because the Ayurvedic belief is that you take anything of elements into your food, what you eat out of. So the singing bowls, the ones I have, I can tell you what they're made of because Peter has started producing them in 83. Has developed them, 83, 87, has developed them since then, and that's why he's one of the few people who can actually guarantee their quality. So they're built out of the 7 planetary metals out of Buddhism, which is gold, and I have to peek on my list, gold, silver, mercury, copper, iron, pewter, and lead.
That's
And
amazing.
it's just mini cool, like it's homeopathic doses of some stuff. And then they have additional 5 elements in there, which is zinc for tension, to release tension, meteoric iron to promote energy and activity, then bismuth to strengthen the digestive system, lead cleanse to reduce inflammation of the joints, and pyrith to strengthen the lung.
Oh wow.
So that's what they came up with. That's an alloy that's been melted together and it's hand driven. All of the singing bowls I use are handmade. The bigger bowls take up to 72 hours to be done. And they're heated up multiple times. And they're produced in Nepal. They're sold in Germany only, or through me here. But the base company is in Germany. And his family is Nepalese now, so some of the daughters-in-law are Nepalese.
Okay.
And every family just produces one kind and one size of singing bowl because in order to keep the quality consistent, you can't change.
No.
No,
Right.
and that sounds.
Yeah, and the most amazing part is the vibration and the sounds. They are very, very like in order to get the certification of the quality seal, the sounds are very, very clean, very melodic.
Do you mind give us a little sample of the sound?
Yeah.
I'm going to move away because a lot of energy.
Beautiful.
It is a beautiful sound.
Oh, yeah.
And it goes forever. So the harmonics of the overtones, because it's not just one tone, it's always multiple tones in there, can't be guaranteed. And you can't reach that if you have a manufactured, like a driven singing bowl, you won't get that. And the neat thing is, if I start stopping it, I can take the tones out.
Oh, wow.
Right? And also, depending on the mallet I use, I get different tones. If I use the bigger one, or if I use the smaller one, I get a different tone in there. So that's very neat. If anybody saw the suction cup holder I have in there, that's your question with the back. I can move it over your back.
So how would you use it during a treatment?
Well, it depends on what I do. If I do the classical Peter Hess sound massage, then you would be stationary laying, and I would have them on you, a certain bowl in a certain space. Some are moved, usually more stationary than moved, or I would have them in your field, which is next to you. The effect is that people melt. Literally, you see them go like, deep.
Or heat up?
Yeah, not so much. That's the funny part, because they're really, really. A lot of times when you're laying down, people get more cold than hot, actually.
I find it ironic because I was calming down, and now you hit it and I'm heating up again.
And maybe you want to hold it because it's cold.
Maybe stick that on my face. Get some ice cubes.
If I use it in the chair massage, then I have people sitting in the chair and I move it over the back, the deeper one over the lower back, and the universal one, which is this one here, over the upper back shoulders. And this this is interesting because it has a wider variety. Like the frequency range of this one is 100 to 2,500 hertz.
Oh, wow.
And this one is in the range of 100 to 900 above. Right, and there's 3 different kinds, and the that's called a pelvic bowl because it's solar plexus to root chakra, while there's a heart bowl too that's throat and heart chakra and shoulders. Use that on. The frequency of the heart chakra is about 200 to 2,500 hertz.
Okay.
So now what about this one?
This is a universal one.
So that's good for any of them? Any of the chakras?
It's as you cover all the frequencies, you can use it anywhere.
Oh, okay.
And that's the one I recommend if somebody wants to start with one.
Yes.
And doesn't have the chance to go and test. Usually I say, if you want a singing bowl, go and test it. The one you can't keep your fingers off is yours. And that's what happens. That happened with me with mine. I literally walked through the house for 4 hours with my singing bowl in my hand. And I had the first one I bought, I had in my bed for 6 months. I woke up in the morning holding it.
It resonated with you.
Yeah. And you are drawn to it, and you can't. And it's not the shiny thing. It's the sound and the vibration.
Yeah. It is definitely a beautiful sound.
Yeah.
And so it's always. But if you want to work with them, and should be fine. Just in case. If you want to work with them in your daily work, or if you want them for yourself, I usually recommend the universal bowl if you can't go and pick it, because it just has the widest range you can work with.
Okay.
So now when you use the universal one, how many different mallets would you need, or just one?
I like this one.
The
bouncy one. I like this one because it has both sides. You can take it in the water because they float.
Oh,
cool.
neat.
Which is really neat. And the water, sound travels in water, right?
Yeah.
So we can play with that too.
Yeah.
But I usually like this one. I used to have a felt mallet to work with, and I sometimes do, but I find this one.
So now it's not all that heavy.
No, it's not heavy, and it's versatile, and you can get nice sounds out of the bowl.
Oh,
Depending on what mallet you use, you get different sounds.
Yeah.
I don't like to rub mine, and unfortunately I didn't bring my wooden mallet with me.
Yeah.
Because what happens is if you rub the singing bowl, all you get is the higher frequencies.
Yeah.
You lose completely the lower frequencies, which means you lose the grounding. So you're all in your head, And we are too much in our head anyway.
Definitely.
Yeah, we don't want that.
It's funny, the only ones I've been able to order are the ones you rub, and it is a very high-pitched sound.
Yes.
I didn't realize that we could strike lower on the bowl.
Yeah. If you use a mallet like this and just tap it on the side, you get the deeper tones.
I can feel the vibrations of that
Yeah,
on the
you
floor.
can just feel it coming right up. Yeah.
So that's how I use, or I use them as a tool when I use kinesiology, and when I'm a touch for health practitioner, which is specialized kinesiology. If I use them as a balancing tool in that, then I would muscle test which singing bowl do I need, and then which direction does it have to be tapped, how many times, and then that would balance, for instance, the energy fields, depending on what you work on.
So, one of my questions, can anybody do this for themselves?
For themselves anyway, because mom even has one on her desk, and
I have the universal.
yeah, and just taps it. Peter has one on his desk, and if it just calms you down, it brings you to the focus. Work goes better. Anything you can do where you need to come to the here and now, the bowls will give you that.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Nice.
So you and I'll have to talk about maybe getting some bowls in the store.
no problem.
Because the ones I get, they are beautiful, they're decorative, but it is only the high-pitched sound. But I would really like to bring quality.
Yeah, what about this?
The happy.
Natasha?
The happy is an instrument that's coming from the States. It's a steel drum, and a lot of people are very interested because they say the sound. And I'm not showing you the sound first. I'm showing you the instrument first, which is basically just that. And it's dirty, so sorry about that.
Wow.
It's just a steel drum. There's nothing to it. There's no enhancer or anything. It's made for musicians, so it has the possibility to connect to a microphone.
Okay.
But mine is a little bit different than the ones you can buy from the manufacturer. Mine has been retuned. And I just give you a sample.
Wow. Nice.
It's an A major pentatonic tuning that's retuned in Germany. So that's why mine are unfortunately a little bit more expensive. But I said to
Mary J. Henley asked, do they cost a lot?
they cost about $800, including
The
taxes.
drums or the bowls?
The drums.
Oh, wow.
The singing bowls, depending on the size, between 200. The smallest one is about $200. The biggest one is about $640.
But when you're getting quality for what it gives you, there's no price.
Michelle had a really neat saying on one of the fairs. She said, "Did you ever consider that if you go and get a spa treatment, you pay about $300 for one day?
Yeah.
If you buy one of those, you pay $2.20 a day, and you have a free lifetime."
Yeah.
And I do rent to own for people who need to pay it off over a longer time, so it's not that bad. And I'd rather have them out there, right? And my passion is I love the singing bowls and the instruments.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's more important to get it out to people and have them play them and have fun. And I used to be one of the person who was like, mine. And now I'm like, yeah, please play. Take it, play, and just have fun and get to experience it because it's so amazing and wonderful. And Benjamin, who does the retuning of those in Germany, I said, why do you use that tuning? How did that come up? And he said, well, basically, I was looking for a tuning you can get lost in. And that happens. You can play that thing for an hour and you look on your
watch
and you go like, what?
Yeah, an hour and a half is gone.
I don't believe that. And the neat thing is you don't have to know anything about music. Everybody can play it because it's always harmonic, right?
That's cool.
And I don't even check what I'm playing. I'm just hitting it.
Yeah.
And we use it for TT.
Okay.
Yeah, we have fortunate, like I bring my instruments for the therapeutic touch groups in Port Hawkesbury when we have the practice group. And ever since I started working with the instruments, so we have a happy and we have some singing bowls and whoever's waiting can play.
Oh, cool.
Oh, that's
So we had a very nice experience 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
One of our practitioners was playing and there were two or three treatments going on at the same time. So you have 7 people in the room floating and her playing. She puts the mallets down and she says, that was so awful.
Really?
And I'm like, what do you mean? And she said, that sounded so awful. I'm like, okay, your energy's off. And she says, yeah, I'm totally awake. I'm like, yeah. you're not resonating with the singing bowl today or with the instrument today, which usually is her favorite, right?
Yeah.
And it was so interesting to see that. And she played last week, and she said, "Yeah, it's back." Right. So it's very interesting the resonance that you can get from the instrument and how it affects you. Usually, when I use it in the singing bowl massage, I put it at the end, at the feet, when I'm done with the singing bowls. And play it, and you can see people go deeper. They physically relax even more. They become flatter.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that, Ash?
Oh,
Breathe
wow.
deeply, and it's really amazing.
Therapeutic touch going deeper into the relaxation. Ashley went one night. She was like sleeping.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm usually the one like this.
That's almost what I'm like now. If you just playing the bowls in the room.
Yeah, and that's the neat thing, that when we started that the practitioner actually said they feel better, and the people in the chair relaxed faster.
Excellent.
Right?
Nice. So now what about these?
My other favorite tool, Koshi chimes.
Oh, nice.
They are from France. They're really nice because it's a bamboo veneer and it's just tiny metal rods in there and a metal plate. But there are 4 different tunings depending on the nature elements, and they are almost pitch perfect.
They're beautiful.
So you can
Okay.
actually, if you play them carefully, you can always play 2 tunes at once instead of all of them. And the manufacturer, when he started building those, he had already 45 years of experience with shanty chimes, which is in most circles. I didn't know them before the shanty chimes, but they must have been famous for their clarity and tone. And
So I got another question that wasn't prepared. Do you travel to practice? Say people who don't drive can't get down to Port Hawkesbury.
well, if I can, it depends on. We're twice a month in Tadamagush. We have a clinic there, which is we do tessellation integration, which is Tessa, Macaulay, Michelle Greenwell, and me, which means you have 3 practitioners working on you for half an hour. You work 15 minutes with Michelle starting off, and then usually Tessa and I manifest whatever comes out of there or give a little bit more. The other thing is if I have 3 people in New Glasgow, I will come to New Glasgow and do a session there. Or if there's somebody who can offer a space to stay and I can come and schedule. It's no problem. I travel almost everywhere. We even teach and work in Alberta and BC.
Maybe when we put the new store up and running, maybe we can offer some sort of clinic day once a month or something like that.
Anytime. I'm happy for that. Like usually I have my base in Antigonish if I don't have to go back to the island. But it's for me it's more important to get it out there and get people
I
to know
agree.
it.
I'm also going to let everybody know Natasha is giving me pamphlets. So we're going to have pamphlets at the store for her Turn Up the Frequency. I think it's a wonderful practice. I just love complementary healing because I think it addresses more the cause than the symptoms.
And always, if we're working in the kinesiology, for instance, we are always asking for the point of origin, which then you start unraveling time, right? So you go back to where did the first pattern happen, and then you unravel from there instead of going back in time, which usual counseling would be, here's your problem right now. So start working to the back from there.
Yeah.
Well, we start working from the back up top.
Oh, okay.
And that way it unravels way faster because your pattern is already removed in the cause, right? So you don't have the repeats.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
No, I think that would be good, Carrie, if we had a
clinic day?
like a clinic day or something,
Even if another project we have going is Sound Essence Bath with Michelle Greenwell together, where we're working with frequency misters. That's energy in a bottle, basically. It's sound, color, all kinds of things, and essential oils. And I use all my instruments. I also have a gong and a native drum that's inserted there. And Michelle goes through and sprays and gives you basically almost affirmations, a meditation spoken word, with the sprays, what they mean, what they are there for. And people got out of there, like, first of all, you get an hour taking somebody care of you, right? But people go out, we say always it's a compliment for us if you snore. We like that.
Oh.
And change is happening.
Oh, definitely. my big goal with the store, besides community, is spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical well-being.
Yeah.
We have to address it all.
And the neat thing is, again, you have the vibration, you have the sound, you have the sprays that have the whole energy or frequency spectrum in them, as they have sound, color, and almost light in there. And they're created by Evelyn Mulders in BC. And it's amazing.
Do you know what's... We got to start putting an hour and a half show.
It can't be time.
Yeah. It goes that fast. People get nervous.
Yeah.
And when they're on it and they think, oh, Robin did.
Yeah, well,
and then all of a sudden it's
What do
over.
you talk about for an hour and then it's at the time.
I'm so used to talk. I like to talk to people, so I don't mind.
So I know you had some questions, so do you want to run through yours?
I guess I just had a couple of questions here. Like, when you're treating people, would you be treating people like cancer patients?
Yes.
Okay.
I would be careful if the cancer is still active to stay in the field.
Okay, yes.
And that's
but
the
if
neat
they
thing
were-
with the modalities that I have. I can take my singing bowls off the body and work off the body. So I would, like breast cancer, I wouldn't work on the breast. I would be outside and would just create a field of sound around that.
So you would rather for them to be in remission?
It doesn't matter to me.
Oh,
It doesn't
important
matter
for you to
for
know.
me.
Yeah,
It's
for
just
you,
important to know, and I wouldn't want to be like actively working on the spot where where the cancer is. Right?
Oh, okay. And I did ask you about the nervous system. So when you're going through with the singing bowls and that, it kind of corrects all the chakras. Am I right in thinking that?
It depends on what your intention is. Like, if you just come for relaxation, you just get relaxation.
Yes.
You get more.
Yes.
That's always the thing, right? But in the end, it's up to you to set the intention what you want to take out
that you
of there.
want all your chakras aligned and to walk out of there feeling really good.
I do have a question. When people come to you for specific treatments, do you need like a baseline? Like, are you coming for depression? Are you coming for stress? Are you coming for back pain?
The more information I have, the more I can work individually for the person. The other thing is the caution, right? If you have an active back pain because you just slipped, you don't wanna aggravate that more. So I would probably stay off the body and create a nice field around the body and have them rather lay down. Or it can be an issue that they can't lay down. Then I have to work differently. So the more information I have before I start, the better it is. Right.
Did you have a question, Justin?
Does it work for pinched nerves in the lower back?
How did you pinch your nerve? Is it muscle related or is it bone related? That's the question. Like if it's muscle related, we can loosen up the muscle. That would then take pressure off the nerve.
Yeah, I think it's muscle because
If it's if it's pinched between two bones, then there's nothing I can do because I'm not, as I said, I'm not a chiropractor or osteopath.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, what about something like this here on animals?
And it's the same. It's the same with TT. You can work on the animals. You can work. Sound is some are very receptive, others not. Like my cat. I have 3 cats at home. One of them I can do EFT on. I can actually tap on the cat. He lays down and he lets me tap the points.
Can you imagine?
One I can go. The 2 I can go over the field. My oldest one, I can do TT on her, but only if I touch her. I can't be in her field. As soon as I lift my hand up with intention, she's gone.
Oh,
right.
Wow.
Same with the singing bowls. You would be very quiet, but the cat and one of the tomcats actually come into treatments if I do sound massages and they feel that the person is not completely comfortable. They will stay with the person. They will lay with the person on the person purring until they relax, and then they go to the other bed and sit there and watch. And as soon as the person is completely asleep, they go.
They're smarter than us.
Yeah.
Animals
Yeah.
are more into the root cause.
Yeah.
Their job
Definitely.
is completed then.
Now, what about somebody with a newborn baby, something like that there? That is like it's restless, won't sleep at night, or things like that. They're colicky.
Again, with the singing bowls, I would probably do more in the field. Also, I have a set for babies.
Mhm.
I have a singing bowl set that's size-wise for babies up to 3 years. it depends on what you want to do. Like there's different things. We can check with the muscle testing because we can do surrogate testing. So we could check if there's some disalignment. Michelle is a little bit more the specialist for that because she does that way longer than I do. I just started. But there are things we can do. And if I don't know what to do, I have somebody I can ask.
You will find the answer.
Yeah. Yeah, we had this non-sleeping baby last time, and working with therapeutic touch, there's distance treatments.
Mhm.
So we can check in and we can muscle test and surrogate on us and see what comes up and then work with that.
Okay.
And TT is always good for the babies.
True.
They're
Yeah.
so susceptible to that.
So since we're getting ready to wrap up, you've
Yeah,
covered all of my. Oh,
Amy asked, how does this help with mental illness, PTSD, and behavioral modification therapies?
We would have to see. I'm open for most of the things to try. There is no studies on singing bowls. That's the biggest problem I have with I have to write a thesis. There's no material for me. So basically I'm covering new ground. What I know from myself and from the people I treated so far, people become quieter. People become, like, if somebody's hyperactive, they become quiet in 15 minutes. They might not be asleep, but they quiet down to the point that they don't twitch, right? So there's things that can be done. So I don't know. I can't say it, but I'm willing to try anything.
but I imagine with everybody, it's how people respond. There's no standard because we're all so unique and
Everybody's so
individual.
different, yeah.
There's no standard expectation of people to respond.
Yeah, and with PTSD, the problem is what is the trigger, right? If
Exactly.
you have a trigger that's sounding like church bells or anything that's in relation to that, you don't want to use the singing bells because they sound like church bells, especially if hit with a wooden mallet. That's something that has to be tested, or the PTSD person has to know what's their trigger, right? But as I said, I'm willing to try, even if there's physical challenges. It's known. What I know is the singing bowls are used in Germany in rehabilitation. Special stroke patients are faster able to speak again, are faster able to move. The range of movement changes quite a lot with the singing bowls than without it. It's faster. It's been used in addiction services to get back to yourself, to give yourself a feeling of yourself. So different things. But I'm not a therapist. That's the first thing. I'll try my best to help as much as I can, but I'm not a doctor. And if something like that, it might be good to have somebody there who's a counselor or a therapist, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just cover your backs,
Yeah.
cover your ground. And
Yes,
be
because we
safe.
wouldn't want to make it worse.
No, definitely not. Not.
Any other questions?
No.
I hope that helps.
You've got about 1 minute for anybody still guessing with numbers, and I'm going to say, is there anything you want to say in close? And we're going to have to get you back again.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure, and I'm just happy if I can share my stuff. And and the only thing I can say is there's a lot of awesome people out there who do interesting things, and I hope I can connect them to you and
That would be nice.
get
to
them
see.
in, because
The
there's
more we can bring.
we have in Nova Scotia, we have a healer network and I would say a basket full of healer eggs, because and most people don't realize that, right? And there's stuff you can do and you can work with, and
There's so much.
just listen and see, and if you know about anybody, share it out there.
So your business, Turn Up the Frequency is the name.
Yep.
It's located in Port Hawkesbury. I want
Yes.
to people know how they can get a hold of you.
The easiest is Facebook. Message me. Usually there's the email address is there too. I have also a website that's called turnupthefrequency.com. There's my email on there. Just get a hold of me. I usually have my
And you're-
phone on me.
Tatamagouche every second Wednesday.
We are in Tatamagouche 2 Wednesdays a month. I
Is
can't
that
say the
appointment?
second. It's not a fixed one, but it's on the Facebook page when we are.
Is that by appointment?
It's better because there's 3 healers and we have to share the space. So, and it depends on what you want to do. And you might want to work with one of my partners. They're amazing too.
And we're going to try, when the stores move, maybe setting up a clinic day here. I
would be
want to bring
great.
wellness to
That
Cook
would-
County.
yeah,
And
that
I'm
would
not,
be
I sound conceited
Yeah.
saying that.
Yeah.
But it was through Cherry I found out about you. And I would love to make you more accessible to people here.
Exactly.
Anyway, I love to do that. Yeah.
This has been great, absolutely great, because, we didn't know about all
I don't know,
this.
were you there when we did the sound massage on Cherry for the whole group?
You had the bowls at Therapeutic Touch there, I think, a couple of times, and I guess we were, each one of us had a little bit of a sample of the sound.
Because we did one.
Absolutely.
No,
great.
not that one was here in New Glasgow. Cherry invited me to come and talk about and show the singing bowl massage, and we picked her, put her in the middle of the room, and did a treatment on 30 people.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Which was amazing because I've never done that. And Cherry does that to me. She says, "Okay, just do," right? Which I love. I'm blessed with two teachers who actually, Michelle is the other one, get me to do things I don't think about. Really think outside the box and try new things. And that was amazing because I had some people get out of the chair, no more back pain.
Oh,
and
wow.
I didn't treat them. I treated Michelle. The only thing I did is sent the intention out to make it for the whole group.
Do you know what's funny? Rob and I were actually talking about this today in a way. We were talking about the number one triggers to lower vibration. Fear and pain.
Yes.
Fear and pain,
Yeah.
and it'll just take it right down.
So this can help raise the vibration.
If you ever talked about Emoto, the water crystals, and I don't like the word negativity or positivity because that's a value we set in our mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, but in that case, I have to. If you take negativity, a negative word, or negative laden word to water and you freeze it, it can't form a crystal. That's what Emoto found out and showed. And you can see that on the internet.
Yeah.
There's quite a few things from him. But if you take that in relation to how much water is in our body, think about what negativity does to you.
Oh, yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It really is.
Exactly.
A lower vibration is terrible.
Yeah. And nobody wants that.
No.
Everybody wants their vibration up.
So that's why I say turn up the frequency.
Yeah.
I actually issued a challenge to Pictou County to turn up the frequency, to turn up our vibration, and every morning count your blessings.
Yeah.
Count what you do have, not what you don't have.
Yeah.
So, how's everybody doing on that challenge? You're finding yourself happier, you're smiling more, you're in a better place in your head? I hope you are, and I hope you're really practicing it. I am practicing it. I'm not a hypocrite. I am doing it too. Yeah. And since I've been much more cheerful, everything around has been much more cheerful.
Everything goes better.
Yeah,
it goes so much better.
It really does. Yeah. So we are in danger of running over now because it goes so fast. So you got your numbers ready? I have chosen 45. Whoever's closest without going over to 45 gets a free reading tonight. 38. Janice A. Quinn. You have got the free reading tonight. That's pretty exciting. So I just do a 4-card daily reading.
Do you need some space?
No, I'm good.
She does her little card reading.
So we have the Magician. We have the Knight of Cups. Ooh, a lovely card that one is. There's change in that card, sister. And we have Justice. So the Magician is saying, not everything looks what it seems. Be careful in your choices. Go with your gut. And if it seems too good to be true, it probably is. Just don't let it deceive you. This is a really important decision that's going to change a lot of the aspect of your life. So trust your gut. If it seems too good to be true, it most likely is. So just be careful in making decisions and get as much background information as you can. It is going to be a very big decision. The Knight of Cups is a young man in your life, like teenager, maybe 12 to 17, somewhere around that. But he's a very emotionally responsible person, very generous, very well-grounded, and just good at sharing. He'd be the person that is helping the people in every way that he can, and he does it without even realizing. It's unconscious with him. The kids getting picked on in school, he's the one there helping them, supporting them. If he sees people struggling, he's always got an ear or a shoulder to cry on. He's just very well-balanced and emotionally responsible. The 8 of Pentacles, this is the one I want to talk about. There is some big change coming with you. Right now, I get a feeling that you're in a little bit of a slump and a downturn, and things aren't as good as they could be, but there's big change. Something with a job is coming, and it's going to be very, very good. It's just a big change, and it's a change that's needed right now for you, and it's going to change how you respond to your life. So don't give up hope. That change is coming. The Justice. That indicates, again, it goes with the Magician, well-balanced decision. Be fair, be equal, don't make assumptions, and just get the best information that you can get. So that's pretty much this reading, and I hope you find that it helps you. And don't forget, next week we're having Sue talk with us about EFT. We're all about, we've been on a healing streak, hypnotherapy, Reiki, vibrational healing, and Sue with the EFT next week.
Yeah.
And I will start putting together, I only like to go about 4 weeks in advance because arrange on the contacts and stuff like that.
Exactly.
And our pendulum workshop is the 23rd. The 20th is the cutoff day for that. And it is prepaid and pre-registered. I have made this mistake before. And having too much, I need to know how many people are going to be there, because you are going to have a variety. You are not all going to make the same pendulum. You are going to make the one that connects to you. With the, you were saying about the singles connection. I believe you have to have that with your pendulums.
Yeah.
I believe you have to have it with your cards.
I missed a few comments. Nanny Jackie says hi.
Hey, Mom.
Darlene said hi.
Hey, darling.
Amy said this is cool.
Hey, Amy, I'm glad you got to watch.
And Janice said thank you so much.
I hope it helped, Janice. I hope it helped. I really do. So you can contact the page or let me know in the store about the pendulum workshop, but we do need to have numbers for that.
Yeah.
So
you said, but you wanted that in by Tuesday?
The 20th.
Yeah, on the 20th, yeah.
The 20th is the cutoff day because the 23rd. So this is this Tuesday.
Friday. Yeah.
That's when we're going to be doing it. And Robin is going to be the lady that's given a lot of the info about pendulums.
On how they're working it.
Robin introduced me to pendulums. Robin introduced me to a lot of stuff. She started as a customer and now she's family.
That's usually how it works.
Yeah. So tune in again next week, and we will be on tomorrow with the daily reading. And we put a link up on our Facebook page to Natasha's page.
Yeah.
And I do have pamphlets in the store. And when we work out with maybe doing a clinic day or something that we can offer here, if you need a place to stay, I have this amazing couch that is just heavenly. I don't have a spare bedroom because I still have 2 kids at home. But, you know, it's a really comfortable
New Glasgow is not too hard because Mom lives in Antigonish.
So there you go.
Wow,
It's usually a way I can do.
There you go. But I really would love to make you, I know it sounds so conceited saying that way, but I would love for you to be accessible to Pictou County.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not only Tattamagush, but New Glasgow.
Yeah,
Should be a nice place, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see what we can work out about that.
That's perfect.
And just thank you so much for joining us. I
Thank
learned
you
so
for having
much.
me. It's great. It's great that people are there that spread the word because we need it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's good for people. I think a lot of people are getting tired of traditional just prescription treatment.
Yeah.
I know I don't like to take pills.
No.
Yeah, no, and
No,
unfortunately we still have the stigma that we don't go through the health insurance.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, working on that, but as long as it's not done. And I'd rather, to be true, I'd rather go and pay for the treatment that helps me than run through the insurance and have no help.
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
And prescriptions, there's so many side effects now. The only prescriptions I will willingly take and almost finish is antibiotics. Because I can't fight off an infection.
No, and it's true that sometimes you need them. And it's really really better to see if it's needed to go with it, right? And to do it the right way. There's things you can do in the beginning, but if it comes to the point that it's not worthwhile to fight the system. Sometimes you need the system.
Sometimes you do.
Yeah.
I will totally agree with that. But sometimes there's other things to complement healing.
Yeah.
Things that aren't so hard on your liver.
Exactly.
True enough.
So I guess we're going to sign off for thank you thank you again for joining us. I
Thank you
really
very
learned a
much,
lot.
Natasha.
Thank
It's
you,
been
Robin.
great.
Yeah.
Very great.
And I guess we're going to say simple pleasures, people. Always find your simple pleasures and your acts of kindness. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be monetary. It can just be very, very simple and very small. And it could just be as simple as making eye contact with someone. Maybe they feel invisible. Maybe a smile because they feel unloved and unacknowledged. It doesn't have to be a big gesture. Oftentimes the littlest gestures have the biggest value. Think about it, the diamond ring,
impact, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The diamond ring.
Yeah.
Everybody puts value on it, but they don't care how big it is as long as they get it because it's an affirmation of love.
Exactly.
And the other thing I want to mention is Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day
to everybody.
Yeah.
And don't forget, I know some people had a little spiel about this. It doesn't have to be romantic attachment. It's love you have for friends, love you have for family, love you have for yourself. So I'm really happy that so many people joined us tonight. And I hope you found some little way to treat yourself today because you're worth loving too. So love and light to everybody. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow. And just have a great night.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.